Why would someone want to make their own burger or their own meat substitute when they could just go to the store and buy some vegan meat substitute? Well, the answer is that just about all the ones I've seen are refined. They lack the fiber, and just like meat, they lack the fiber. And that lack of fiber is going to cause a lot of digestive problems that meat causes. It's going to slow down digestion, and it's going to cause weight gain and clogged arteries and all those other problems, diverticulitis. And what you really want is a high fiber diet that's going to move things along and help move the cholesterol and the fat out of your body. And it'll help keep your body at a weight level that will give you the energy instead of dragging you down and making you feel tired and sleepy and worn out. So this recipe is very easy and it's very delicious. It's popular with people that have not been really genuinely introduced to good, healthy, vegan food. And it is just so easy. You put everything in your crock pot and it's all just ready to go. So here's the recipe. The first thing you want to do is get 1 cup of raw walnuts and put them in your Vitamix and blend them with the water that we're going to use. I'm going to put just a little bit of the water in first and make sure that the walnuts get well blended. Then I'm going to add the rest of it. Now I'm starting with boiling water to help speed up the cooking time, and you want, this is a total of 4 cups of water. Now when putting hot water in a Vitamix, you want to be careful. You don't want to get it really full and start on a high speed or it's going to explode and go everywhere. So start out on a low speed. I'm going to add the rest of my hot water into that. That helps clean out the Vitamix at the same time as it gets it nice and blended. And I have my hot crock pot here. I'm going to pour that in. So that's 1 cup of walnuts and 4 cups of water. And to that I'm going to add my grain. This is cracked wheat. You stir that in. Most of this is just a matter of pouring it in and dumping it. This is a 1/2 cup of onion flakes. This is the dried onion flakes. You add that. And then this is 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And I have about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Now I've tried this with less amount of salt, but it really does not have a very good flavor. So you want to add sufficient salt to it. Now this is going to be the seasoning part of it, and this is 2 tablespoons of the mild Hungarian paprika, and then this is 2 teaspoons of cumin, and this is 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, and then 3 tablespoons of parsley. I'm just going to stir this up a little bit to blend it all. I have the crock pot on a high temperature, and you're going to want to watch this, make sure it doesn't burn before you turn it down. After a while I'm going to turn it down, and if it does get dry, you can add more water, and you want to cook it for at least an hour. If it gets dry, add more water, and a longer cooking time, like maybe an hour and a half, is really best. So I'm just going to put the lid on it and come back in like maybe half an hour and see if it needs any more water. Here's how it looks after 15 minutes. It is starting to thicken up a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add about another cup of water, and I'm going to turn the heat down on it. I want it to cook a good length of time and slow enough so that it is easily digested. So I'm going to turn the heat down to low. It was on high. Now this is after an hour. I added a little bit more water earlier, and I'm going to let this cook some more time. You probably could use it now, but I want it a little less moist. So I'm going to let it cook out a little bit. And I turned up the heat a little bit earlier, and I think this is done. I'm going to turn it off and let it cool. One thing I like about this recipe is you can take them, after it's cooled down, you can take it and spoon it into Ziploc bags, freezer bags, and put it in the freezer. And it keeps really well in the freezer, and when you're ready to use it, you just put a little water in the bottom of a pan after it has thawed out a little bit and heat it up, and it's delicious. One thing I'm going to try with this recipe that I'm making today is I'm going to try putting it in a lasagna recipe and see how that turns out. Another thing you can do with it is, if you want to, you can put it in a dehydrator, kind of spread it out on a cookie sheet or something like that, and put it in a dehydrator and let it dry out to where it becomes kind of crumbly, and then it can work for like going for a backpacking trip or something like that. You can put the dry stuff in a bag and take it with you, and then just add some water and heat it up and use it like that. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.